Well, parents play a key role in not only preventing, but also responding to bullying.
Counselor Kelly Olson is here to tell you how you can help your child deal with a bully. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
So as we were saying earlier in the show, I mean, it's no longer just at the schoolyard. It's now with social media. It seems like it can be kind of a 24/7 situation. So if you're coaching your child through this, where do you start?
It's everywhere, and that's the unfortunate thing. The bullying can be very pervasive. You know, now if you screw up in English class and fall down or whatever, you know, granted guaranteed there's going to be many videos and Snapchats and everything of that fall. Whereas in the 1980s and even in the early 90s, there was no Snapchat, no pictures, no nothing. And so not only do you live that horror in English class, but you relive it on many multiple media formats that can be very difficult for kids. Anybody, I mean, even as an adult, I mean, that would be awful. So there's many different ways kids can be bullied. It can be, social media is one of the most common ways, and there's obviously many different formats that they can be bullied. But then also, of course, in schools, they can be verbally abused. They can also be physically abused, which is you're hitting, kicking, slapping, punching, all those kinds of things. And then also psychological too, just, you know, emotionally, people causing you distress, telling you that you're, you know, no good or dumb or those kinds of things. And so those are the types of kind of bullying. And typically you can tell your child is experiencing bullying by, you know, some typical symptoms, like, you know, if your kid starts to act differently. So like, let's say, you know, most of the time your teens are isolated, right? You know, they usually spend time by themselves. Well, if they start isolating themselves even more, that's a sign. Or if they start complaining to you about somatic complaints, they have a headache, they have a stomach ache. They might even say that they don't want to go to school, or early in the morning they start to act like they're not feeling good. Those are some often common symptoms. But then also too, change in friends. Let's say they've been friends with somebody for a really long time, and all of a sudden they're no longer friends, they're no longer talking to that person. And then you witness your child acting a little differently around those friends. Those are kind of signs to kind of alert you that something's awry as a parent, and then to seek to know more from your child. Ask questions. You know, a lot of teens don't like to talk about these things. You're going to have to engage your child in a conversation when they're open. That's usually not in front of other teens, not while they're busy doing stuff. Car rides can be a good time, one-on-one time. Anytime that you can get your child alone to have that serious conversation, because bullying can be very serious for teens.
So is this the kind of what you tell parents if you do start to notice, yes, something's going on, whether they're a teen or maybe younger, that's the first step, is talking to them?
Absolutely. Checking in on them. You know, some parents look at text messages, some parents watch social media things. Some parents just have open conversations with their kids and say, you know, I've been really noticing things look a little different, or you seem like you're more depressed. How's school? You can even talk to teachers as well. Teachers are pretty aware of what's happening. If there's conflicts between certain students, they sometimes will know because they'll ask them to partner up and they won't partner up, or they'll hear rumblings from other students. So teachers are pretty well aware. So, and especially if you have a relationship with those teachers, going to them and talking to them about, you know, I'm just wondering, I'm noticing my child is acting a little different. How do you see them socially getting along?
Wow, and today it's some of the things that people say, it's rough to hear. All right, stick around, much more coming up on this right after this.